going on, guys? Guy Sparks here, bringing you my week 9 team prep for Mark, coach of the Broforce. So just straight out looking at his team, there's a lot of a lot of walls. We've been joking about that throughout the season. He basically drafted it during the draft. Actually, he asked Sean in the later rounds, "What should I draft?" And his response was something that isn't a wall because Toxapex, Arcanine, he had Mega Slowbro, which got changed to Latios, and he dropped something here for Slowbro, which he then dropped for Shiinotic. But, so Latios is an offensive mon, but he has Arcanine, Cobalion, which can be a wall, Registeel, Shiinotic, Piloswine, Gastrodon, so like over half his team. And he's got some offensive mons. So going into this, I wasn't really sure what to do because a lot of his offensive mons, they have coverage for the stuff that would normally switch into it, which are stuff I expected him to bring. So like I expect Latios, which is faster than my entire team. Psychic takes on a lot of my team. Let's see, Pinsir could deal with it, but the fact is it gets Shadow Ball, and that takes on Bronzong, that takes on Gourgeist, which Heliolisk gets Dark Pulse for, which Victini takes damage from, even though I can't really touch Latios that much other than Glaciate, or it might get Shadow Ball or something. But there's a lot of stuff on his team, and like Heliolisk gets Surf, which hits Excadrill, which is something if he brings Heliolisk he'll probably have Surf, or gets Hidden Power Ice for Flygon. So there's a lot of things on his team that deal with the stuff I would normally bring to cover it. So after a lot of prep, I finally just crammed 6 mons together, and hopefully they work. Some other mons I was thinking, so Bronzong and Gourgeist were 2 I was thinking, no, I can't bring. The fact that Helios could have Hidden Power Ice means I wanted Flygon out, and with Ninetales, even though I wish I had a better defogger, because I wish I did pick up Skuntank, because it'd be a dark type with a dark poison that could defog away an Aurora Veil. But Flygon's just too weak to Ninetales to deal with the Aurora Veil. And then Suicune, I was thinking of bringing for Arcanine, but he has Heliolisk, which can be an issue, and Gastrodon that can be an issue often. Even though I guess I get Grass Knot. So it might be something I consider if we have a rematch in the playoffs. But I decided not to bring it, which might have been a bad idea, but who knows. We'll have to wait for the battle to find that out. But without further ado, I'll actually minimize this so we can see what his mons are. And I was thinking X-Cloud too. That was something on my mind, but even though it gets fire and fighting coverage, Tyranitar in Registeel switching into it was just too big of an issue. I couldn't reliably rely on it to do its job. So we got Oscar. He has Latios as a defogger. That's it. So something with hazards is something I was considering trying to abuse on this team. I was debating Toxic Spikes, but if he brings Toxapex, it's useless. Probably should have went Toxic Spikes, Spikes Haze. That way, like, he has to kill me, and like he'll take aftermath damage, but he can't set up on me, which is nice. So maybe Drain Punch works, but the reason I have Drain Punch is because if he has Tyranitar, or Piloswine or Registeel, I can actually deal damage to it. Especially Cobalion and Registeel that can't take toxic damage. I don't know. I feel Drain Punch might be not. I might not be able to use it, but at least I have Haze to deal with a lot of the stuff, and then I can get some spikes up, and just whittle this team down for the rest of my squad. Second mon, hopefully this works as well as it did for Sean. Got my Aku coming back, leading. I guess I'm Crash Bandicoot in this scenario, leading me to victory. Freeze Dry hits Gastrodon, hits Latios with damage, but mainly I just wanted a way to hit Gastrodon because it's something this is switching into. It also does hit Shiinotic it does hit Toxapex, which is something else. And I can't toxic Toxapex, so being able to deal damage to it and just knock its item off and stuff will be okay. If he does, I don't expect him to bring Toxapex because he doesn't. I don't think he likes it that much, but if he does, that gives Oscar a free chance to start setting up spikes. So let's hope. Yeah, let's see how that does. And it might be a heal to switch in until I figure out its moveset, because if it has HP Ice, Dirtbag is good, but if it has Surf, that's an issue. And we got Comet. E-Belt to hide the fact that I'm not fully offensive, because I was thinking Leftovers, but at the end of the day, I think Will-O-Wisp's the better option. Just so that the plan is I get this out on Registeel or something, or Cobalion, and then click Will-O-Wisp. If he wants to go and set up with either of those, he can, but he's risking a Blue Flare. And he's risking getting a... I guess he wouldn't think I would burn it. But Tyranitar is the switch in I'm expecting. He might think, oh, this is the chance for me to set up. And I don't think I have the best fighting options. I have Focus Blast that I could have, but I mean, Will-O-Wisp is meant to hit that T-Tire. I don't know what the hell that is. U-turn, because if he brings Arcanine, I don't want to give him that Flash Fire boost. So I'll U-turn off that. And then just, timid, enough speed to outspeed max speed Arcanine, because I can't outspeed anything else. And Psychic, so I can hit Toxapex. It's a stab move, and I'd rather have that over an electric move, because at least the Psychic hits neutral a lot of other things. He could switch Latios into this. I do have options to take on Latios, but this gets, but at least I can U-turn off of it. And Latios doesn't have the best coverage versus me. And with all his water types, I doubt he probably has Shadow Ball and Latios, which would hit this, and hopefully I'm bulky enough to take one. This is going to be like one of my main ways to win. Lumberry, because if I can, I'd set up on like something like Arcanine. I'm going to do it, but Arcanine carries Will-O-Wisp, which is an issue. But if I can get a Swords Dance off, and again I outspeed max speed Arcanine, I just don't want to worry about getting toxic or burnt and not being able to set up properly. And then close combat is the game plan. A lot of this team doesn't appreciate fighting moves, which is something I found with Mark's team. It lacks with all the walls. It lacks a fighting wall. Like it lacks that ghost type or that bulky psychic type or something. Maybe Latios or Latios could have. I mean, Latios can take some fighting moves, but it can't take, and it takes like, I think it does like 40 to it. That's still a fair amount. If I catch a Latios on a switch and it's not switching in multiple times. So yeah, just hopefully this works. Trackon hasn't really been the best this season. Has like 3 kills in a couple games, but it should have done wonders against Liam, but that stupid Sash. So you know what happens, but it's going to be interesting. To see what it does. You got Aang here, which again, I realized. Oh yeah, I can switch it to shiny. Oh, I didn't even switch the sexes on these. Yeah, I had the battle already. This won't affect it. But the game plan going into this is Earthquake hits everything, Return doesn't, because apparently Flying hits basically everything but Rock, Steel, and Electric, which is something I didn't really know. I knew Flying was good, but I mean, I didn't realize that's why you don't run bug moves on Pinsir, unless you have to, is because like Flying just hits everything. And Earthquake covers Tyranitar, Registeel, and Cobalion, and it hits other stuff pretty good. And I should be able to Swords Dance. I could risk Swords Dancing on like a Toxapex or Gastrodon or something, or even an Arcanine. Actually, I don't want to do it on Arcanine. It has Will-O-Wisp. Or Cobalion maybe. I don't know what Cobalion could get. But hopefully I can get a Sword Stance off and deal some damage. If he has Helios, though, that's an issue. Just because it's so fast and so bulky. Not bulky, so powerful. I was running in NU, or RU, a Sun team with Helios with Solar Power. That was fun. It's just so powerful. Life Orb, Solar Power, Helios. I might draft that. I might make a Sun team next season. That'd be fun. But I'll go back to the game, to this thing. So we got final Pokemon. He hopefully brings Tyranitar. I don't see why he wouldn't. It's like his favorite Pokemon on his team, I believe. So I think it'd be that and Arcanine if I had to pick his top two favorites. So let's try to. The game plan is try to Sand Rush with Tyranitar as Sand, because I realized a misplay with my team drafting was drafting Excadrill as a Rapid Spinner and not going for the Sand guy. If I went back to the draft, I'd probably replace Terrakion with Hippowdon, which is something I should have done, especially since I could have drafted Infernape first. I think I'd have been able to draft it second. I don't know if Hippowdon was taken before my second pick, because I picked Celebi, whatever. But or if I could have gotten Tyranitar, then I would have had to lose Pinsir or Victini. But I like what I have. So I'm trying to abuse the Sand. Life Orb, Earthquake, Iron Head hits a lot of things. I'm giving up the Mold Breaker that allows me to hit Latios, but if I get it in on something like Tyranitar, an Iron Head kills it anyways. So I just click that, and then if he switches in something, like, I don't think many things on his team will appreciate an Iron Head Earthquake combination. So if he wants to do that, he can do it, but I mean, Latios will be Adios. Nah, that's so bad. But let's see. I think that's it. I think I'm feeling okay for this battle. I know if I lose, I'm gonna get shit talked by him a lot, just because he loves the trash talking on game, and like it's a lot of fun. It means that like I go into these games knowing that if I lose, it's gonna be a bad time, but if I win, I can be like, yeah, I won. But that will be it. I will see you at the battle.